There's a principle in rigging called abstracted controls. No, there's not. It just makes me sound like I know what I'm talking about. What that means is that a good rig should be intuitive. You don't want the animator to have to think about all of the technical stuff that's going on. The most common example is the wrist control. In reality, the wrist can only rotate around two axes. When we're twisting the wrist, it's actually because two bones in our forearms are rotating around each other, and that's what's generating that motion. The easiest way to create this in 3D is to put an extra bone halfway down the forearm. Then when you envelope it, the points further down will rotate, but the top will stay put. Now the trick is we don't want the animator to have to think about all this, they just want to be able to grab the wrist and twist it however they want. So instead of using parenting, we're going to hook this up using some expressions which will let us control different bones with each axis of the wrist controller. When we rotate the wrist like so, we'll link that up to the forearm twist, but when it moves the other two ways, it'll control the wrist itself. Now the animator can just grab that one control and the rig will do the right thing automatically. Moving up the chain, the upper arm is actually just a single bone, but when you rotate it like this, you'll notice a similar thing is happening because the muscles more towards the top of the arm are sliding over the bone as it rotates. So we can do the exact same thing with the upper arm, and that will also help us fix some of the deformation problems in the armpits. The last part of the FK arm is the shoulder. When you lift your arm, the actual ball and socket joint that's in there only allows the arm to go about this high. After that, it's the shoulder mechanism that allows the arm to keep going up. Notice how you can't raise your arm above your head without moving your shoulder? Now, this would be really easy to rig if we were just dealing with one axis, but the exact same thing happens when we also go forwards and backwards and twisted different ways, so it would be a lot of math to figure out all those rotations. Instead, we're going to build a little position calculator. The way that works is we create a null and parent it to the body. Then we grab another null and parent it to the first one, but we constrain it to the arm. This causes it to move with the arm, but the positions are determined by the parent. So even when we move the body, the local position doesn't change. But when we lift the arm itself, the Y position increases as we lift the arm. That means that now we can link this shoulder lift to the calculator. I did it with a set-driven key so that the lift starts about here and keeps going until it's at its maximum height. Now, when we move that one control, the shoulder also moves with the arm at the correct spots. There is one last issue that I didn't go into with this setup called dependency cycles, but there is a nice long post on the blog that covers that in more detail. Also, don't forget that you can subscribe to these podcasts. There's YouTube and also iTunes and RSS links, so be sure to subscribe to one of those so you can get all of the episodes automatically.